There comes a quiet moment in life when everything looks fine on the outside, yet something inside you feels unsettled. You move through your days, completing tasks, meeting expectations, doing what you're supposed to do, but a question lingers beneath it all. A question that doesn't shout, but gently follows you wherever you go. What am I really meant to do with my life? Not in a loud, dramatic way, but in a soft, persistent whisper that returns in still moments, late at night, or in the silence between distractions. Buddhist wisdom teaches that finding your purpose is not about chasing something far away. It's not hidden in success, status, or approval. It is something much closer, something already within you, waiting to be uncovered. In this reflection, you'll explore 5 quiet but powerful questions, not to force answers, but to gently guide you back to yourself. 1. What truly brings you alive? There is a difference between what fills your time and what fills your spirit. Many people spend years doing what is expected of them, following paths that were chosen by circumstance, by family, or by fear. And over time, something subtle begins to happen. Life becomes routine, predictable, safe, but empty. Not painfully empty, just quietly disconnected. Buddhist teachings remind us that your purpose is not something you invent, it is something you uncover. And one of the clearest clues lies in this simple question: what truly brings you alive? Not what impresses others, not what looks good on paper, but what gives you a sense of presence, where time fades, where you feel deeply engaged without forcing yourself to be. Think back to moments in your life when you felt naturally drawn to something, moments where effort didn't feel heavy, where you weren't watching the clock, where something inside you felt open, curious, and awake. It might be something small: writing, helping someone, solving a problem, creating something with your hands, listening deeply, teaching, exploring ideas, being in nature. Often, we overlook these moments because they seem too simple, too ordinary. But Buddhist wisdom teaches that truth is rarely loud. It reveals itself quietly through what consistently brings you into the present moment. Imagine this: you are doing something you love. You are fully there. Your thoughts are not racing ahead. You are not worrying about the future. You are not replaying the past. You are simply here. That state of presence is not accidental. It is a signal. It shows you where your mind settles naturally, where your energy flows without resistance, and where your deeper nature begins to express itself. But many people ignore this signal. Why? Because they have been taught to prioritize what is practical over what is meaningful, to choose security over alignment, to silence their inner pull in favor of external approval. Over time, this creates a quiet conflict within, a feeling that something is missing, even when everything seems fine. So, pause for a moment. Ask yourself gently, when was the last time I felt truly alive? Not excited in a temporary way, but deeply engaged, present, connected, and then ask, what was I doing in that moment? You don't need to change your entire life overnight. That is not the teaching. The teaching is awareness. Because the more you begin to notice what brings you alive, the more clearly your path begins to reveal itself. Like a small flame in the dark, it may seem subtle at first. easy to ignore. But if you protect it, if you give it attention, it begins to grow. Your purpose is not something distant. It is hidden inside the moments where you feel most like yourself. And the more you listen to those moments, the closer you come to living a life that feels true. 2. What kind of suffering are you willing to carry? Most people search for a life without struggle. They imagine that purpose will feel easy, clear, and free from difficulty. That once they find it, everything will fall into place and life will finally feel effortless. But Buddhist wisdom offers a very different perspective. Life will always include challenge. There is no path without effort, discomfort, or uncertainty. Even the most meaningful lives carry weight. So the real question is not, how do I avoid suffering? But rather, what kind of suffering is meaningful to me? Because not all struggle is the same. There is the suffering that drains you, the kind that feels pointless, repetitive, and disconnected from who you are. The kind that leaves you exhausted, not because it is hard, but because it feels empty. And then there is the suffering that, while difficult, feels purposeful. The kind that stretches you, that challenges you, that asks something from you, but also gives something back in return. Think about it. Learning a skill you care about is not easy. Building something meaningful takes time. Helping others can be emotionally demanding. Growth itself is uncomfortable. But when the struggle is aligned with something that matters to you, it feels different. It feels worth it. Imagine carrying a heavy load. If that weight has no meaning, every step feels unbearable. You question why you are carrying it at all. But if that same weight is connected to something you deeply value, your perspective changes. The effort remains, but your relationship to it transforms. Buddhist teachings encourage you to observe this carefully. Look at your life as it is right now. Where are you experiencing struggle? And then ask yourself, is this suffering leading me somewhere meaningful, or is it keeping me stuck? This question requires honesty, not judgment, not self-criticism, just awareness. Because many people remain in situations that drain them, not because they must, but because they have become used to it. Familiar suffering can feel safer than unknown change, but staying in the wrong kind of struggle slowly disconnects you from yourself. It narrows your energy, it limits your growth, it keeps you moving, but not evolving. Now consider the opposite. What challenges would you be willing to face if they led you towards something meaningful? Would you be willing to learn, even if it means failing at first? Would you be willing to take small risks, even if there is uncertainty? Would you be willing to feel discomfort if it meant becoming more aligned with who you are? Purpose is not found in comfort. It is found in choosing the struggles that shape you, rather than the ones that shrink you. So instead of asking, why is my life so difficult? Ask, is this difficulty helping me grow into the person I want to become? Because when you begin to choose your struggles consciously, your path becomes clearer, and what once felt like burden begins to feel like direction. 3. What are you avoiding that you know matters? Sometimes the clearest sign of your life purpose is not found in what you are doing, but in what you keep avoiding. There are things in your life that quietly call to you, not loudly, not urgently, but consistently. A direction you feel drawn toward, a change you know you need to make, a step you've been postponing, a truth you've been gently pushing aside, and yet you don't move. Instead, you stay busy, distracted, focused on smaller, safer tasks. You tell yourself you'll think about it later, when the timing is better, when you feel more ready. But that moment rarely comes. Buddhist wisdom teaches that avoidance is often rooted in attachment to comfort and fear of uncertainty. The mind resists what feels unfamiliar, even if that unfamiliar path leads to growth. So instead, it creates noise. It fills your time with distractions. It keeps you occupied just enough so you don't have to face the deeper question waiting underneath. But what you avoid does not disappear. It stays with you, quietly shaping your thoughts, your energy, your sense of direction. Think about something you've been putting off, not something trivial, but something that carries weight, something that feels important, even if you can't fully explain why. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, a path you've been curious about exploring, a change in your lifestyle, a creative pursuit you keep delaying, or even the simple act of sitting with yourself without distraction. Avoidance often disguises itself as practicality. You might tell yourself you're being realistic, responsible, careful, but underneath that reasoning, there is often fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough, fear of what might change if you actually follow that path. So you wait. But here is something important to understand. The longer you avoid what matters, the heavier it becomes. It starts as a quiet thought, then it becomes a lingering feeling. Over time, it can turn into restlessness, frustration, even regret. Not because you made the wrong choice, but because you didn't allow yourself to choose at all. Buddhist teachings encourage awareness, not force. You don't need to rush into action. You don't need to make drastic decisions overnight. But you do need to be honest. So pause for a moment. Ask yourself gently, what am I avoiding right now that I know matters? Don't rush to answer. Let the question sit with you. Notice what comes up. Often, the answer is immediate, but uncomfortable. That's why it's been avoided. And then ask, why am I avoiding it? Is it fear, uncertainty, the possibility of change, or the possibility that it might actually lead somewhere meaningful? Avoidance keeps you in place, but awareness creates movement. Even the smallest step toward what you've been avoiding can shift something within you. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as exploring the idea, researching, reflecting, or taking one small action. What matters is that you stop turning away, because often your purpose is not hidden. It is simply waiting behind the things you've been hesitant to face. And the moment you turn toward it, even slightly, you begin to reconnect with a deeper sense of direction. 4. If you let go of expectations, what would you choose? Much of the confusion around purpose does not come from a lack of direction, but from too many expectations. From a young age, you are taught what a meaningful life should look like, what success means, what paths are acceptable, what choices are safe. And over time, these expectations begin to shape your decisions, often without you even realizing it. You choose what seems practical, what others approve of, what fits into a certain image, and slowly your own voice becomes quieter, not gone, just harder to hear. Buddhist wisdom speaks deeply about attachment, not just to things, but to identities, roles, and expectations. When you become attached to how your life is supposed to look, you begin to lose connection with how it actually feels. So here is a powerful question. If you let go of expectations, what would you choose? Not what makes sense to others, not what looks impressive, not what feels safest, but what feels true to you. This question can feel uncomfortable at first, because expectations provide structure. They give you a sense of certainty, a sense of direction, even if that direction isn't truly yours. Letting go of them can feel like stepping into the unknown, but within that space, something honest begins to emerge. Imagine for a moment that no one is watching, no one is judging, no one has an opinion about your choices. There is no pressure to succeed in a specific way, no timeline you need to follow, no image you need to maintain, just you. In that space, what would you be drawn toward? What kind of life would you begin to create? Would you choose the same path you are on now? Or would something begin to shift? Many people never ask themselves this question seriously, because the answer might require change, and change can feel uncertain. But staying disconnected from your true direction carries its own quiet cost. It can lead to a life that looks complete from the outside, but feels incomplete within. Buddhist teachings remind us that attachment creates suffering. And one of the most subtle forms of attachment is the need to meet expectations that were never truly yours. So gently begin to observe. Where in your life are you following expectations more than your own truth? Where are you choosing approval over alignment? And what would happen if you loosened that grip, even slightly? Letting go does not mean rejecting everything. It means creating space. Space to listen to yourself more clearly. Space to make choices that feel honest, even if they are different. Your purpose is not something you need to perform. It is something you need to align with. And alignment cannot happen when your life is shaped entirely by external expectations. So take a breath, let the noise of should soften, and ask yourself again gently, if I let go of expectations, what would I choose? The answer may not be fully clear yet, but even a small glimpse is enough to guide your next step. 5. Who do you become when you are fully present? So much of your life is shaped by where your mind spends its time. Sometimes it lives in the past, replaying moments, holding on to regret, or wishing things had been different. Other times it moves into the future, imagining outcomes, fearing uncertainty, trying to control what has not yet happened. And in both cases, something important is lost: the present moment. Buddhist wisdom teaches that your true nature is not found in your thoughts about life, but in your direct experience of it, right here, right now. And this leads to a powerful question. Who do you become when you are fully present? Not when you are overthinking, not when you are comparing yourself to others, not when you are trying to meet expectations or predict outcomes, but when you are simply here, aware, grounded, attentive. Think about moments when you were completely present. Perhaps you were walking in nature, noticing the rhythm of your breath, the feeling of the ground beneath your feet. Or you were in a meaningful conversation, truly listening, not preparing your response, not distracted, just there. Or maybe you were focused on creating something, so absorbed that time seemed to disappear. In those moments, who were you? You were not defined by doubt. You were not limited by fear. You were not distracted by endless thoughts. You were simply yourself, without resistance. There is a clarity that emerges in presence, a quiet sense of alignment, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer divided within yourself. Many people search for purpose in the future. They believe that once they figure everything out, once they reach a certain point, once they achieve something, then they will feel clear. But Buddhist teachings point in a different direction. Clarity does not come from chasing the future. It comes from returning to the present, because when you are fully present, you begin to notice something subtle but important. You act differently. You choose differently. You respond to life with more awareness rather than reaction. And over time, these small, present choices begin to shape your path. Purpose is not a single decision. It is the result of many small, aligned moments. Moments where you listen instead of rush, where you respond instead of react, where you follow what feels true instead of what feels familiar. But presence requires practice, because the mind is restless. It pulls you away, into distractions, into worries, into habits. So gently, again and again, you return to your breath, to your body, to what is in front of you. Not perfectly, not constantly, but consistently. And something begins to shift. You start to notice your thoughts without being controlled by them. You start to feel your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You begin to create space between you and the noise of the mind. And in that space, something deeper becomes visible. Your natural way of being, your values, your inclinations, the way you move through the world when you are not trying to be someone else. This is where purpose begins to take shape, not as a fixed destination, but as a way of living, a way of showing up, a way of engaging with life that feels honest and grounded. So instead of asking, "What is my purpose in the future?" begin to ask, "How am I living right now? Am I present in what I do? Am I aware of my choices? Am I acting in a way that feels aligned with who I truly am?" Because when you live with presence, purpose is no longer something distant. It becomes something you embody, something you express through your actions, your attention, your way of being. And slowly, without forcing it, your path begins to reveal itself, not all at once, but step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. So pause here, take a slow breath, and ask yourself gently, who do I become when I am fully present? Stay with that, because within it there is a quiet truth, and that truth is already guiding you. Finding your life purpose is not about rushing toward answers. It is about learning to listen more deeply. Each of these questions is not something to solve quickly, but something to return to with patience and honesty. If this reflection resonated with you, take a moment to like this video and support the channel Mindfulness. Subscribe for more content rooted in Buddhist wisdom, inner peace, and self-discovery. And in the comments, share one question that stayed with you, or one insight you're beginning to explore. Until next time, stay present, stay gentle, and trust your path as it unfolds.